Hey everybody. Well, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I think today is December 15th. I think it is December 15th. And, well, I kind of wanted to create this video because I have to wrap up a project. That project is to make a video showing the kitchen before and after. I made a promise to a lot of people to show them the video that has never been produced. Well, guess what? Between tonight and tomorrow, it will be produced. And then it will be distributed on DVD and also free-form video. So enjoy and go Hawks. And what you're going to see next is the footage from the summer. Actually, I think it was May. It was May. And when we started the kitchen, and I had 10 days to do it. So I had 10 days to do the work. The funny part is, of course, well, not so funny to my boss probably, Jeff, sorry. I called in sick after taking a vacation, because that's how freaking exhausted I was. Man, I was exhausted. I fucking was sick. Pardon my language, I swore. I dropped the F-bomb. I'm not going to edit that, because that's the truth. I mean, I'm super proud, but that really put me down physically for that one day that I took a sick day before returning to work. Anyways, next you're going to see the video of the, I believe by memory, serves correct, the IKEA equipment, the IKEA boxes and everything, and then you're going to see the old cabinets, and then we're going to transition to the kitchen as it is, well, today. Because actually it's being filmed today. I'm wearing the same jersey here. It's December 15th. It's really 7 months later. Okay, enjoy. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the rest. Bye. Hey everybody. Just wanted to tell you that my name's Ed. Redoing my kitchen IKEA style. So, what happens when you get an IKEA kitchen? Well, it comes delivered in a truck. And, well, guess what? A lot of pieces. Take a look. You see over here, the boxes are all over here. You got your drawer assemblies over here, your parts accessory boxes over here, custom slide trays with wire baskets over there. Those are drawer faces, those are cabinet faces. And then in the back, there's a large finishing piece for the island. Those are your installation bars up here that you hang the cabinets on, that metal rod there. That's the appliance end cap right over here. So, there you go. It's hard to operate the camera by myself. But as you see, it's a lot of pieces. So let's go take a look at the kitchen and what we're doing. Blue sky. Yeah, all right. Hey, all right. So, turn out the Hawks pregame. I'm not watching the game. Kitchen comes first this time. So, over here, I put a wall. This used to be we always had empty space here. Always had empty space right over here. Never really used it. So I built a wall here to use this as an appliance wall. And this refrigerator here is going to move there with a cabinet up above right over here. A 24 deep cabinet, which is meant for this type of application, which is perfect. Over here, we're going to move the refrigerator, and this is going to be a large stretch, 72.5 inches, about 72.25 of now double facing base cabinets. Up here, we'll go straight to the ceiling with the top cabinet like this over here. And this is the cabinet style because I had to do one of them already. This is the cabinet here. That's one of them. Wow, this camera does not zoom out well. All right, and then over here, the next thing is I had to leave the soffit here. I broke a soffit out here. This was broken out right over here, and I had to do a lot of drywall work and get that to where it was, perfectly, flush. And also had to do some reconstruction because of the way the soffit was attached to begin with. there's two vents here. There's a vent here for air delivery and a vent over here running this way to the roof. And that's the main exhaust vent. I have to be careful with that one because that's the reason this soffit has to remain. I was going to try to break it out and try to maybe even put a piece of wood into the cabinet to do the vents. But then when I found out about the location of the vent here that I have, this is going to be done. Now you'll see in the final video that this range hood will not be used. I've got a really cool IKEA vent hood, but it's made by Maytag actually. I don't know why. I would think they'd have it made by like some Swedish company, but it's built by Maytag. But it's really cool. So anyways, it's a really cool vent hood because it's super compact. And so anyways, you'll see, and right here also on the bottom, what's going to be done is we're going to do a Lazy Larry in the bottom, because that's Lazy Susan up on top. So new Lazy Susan and a Lazy Larry on the bottom, because I like to be equal opportunity offender of the laziness, man and woman. All right. So anyways, here. So we're going to go Lazy Larry, then instead of a 42-inch cabinet, that's going to be a 36-inch with a sink that's going to be an undermount on quartz, and then we're going to do put the Bosch back in, and the appliance end cap goes here. Island, this is an interesting treatment here. Island, one thing about the island is 42 inches, so I had to get two 21-inch cabinets. Use same size stone, but we're getting new stone. This granite's going, we'll get quartz. And then only we'll pull this way. IKEA does not sell reverse cabinets like this. So, it's a bit of a drawback, but you can only do what you can do. I was going to build it with maybe buy two sets of cabinets and put the facings on both ends, but I don't know. My wife said, "Why do you need to get it to it from the other side, anyways?" I didn't have an answer for that. It was off the table. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's check in now. Next section of the video will be when we're actually done, or maybe when we're done with the cabinets, because the countertop is a separate measure. The company comes in and they do the measurements and they fabricate in a very short time period. So catch you on the flip side. Okay, so if you saw the before video here, this wall was in place already because I could build it before everything was moved. But what I had to do was actually get a 24-inch deep cabinet, build the wall to go flush perfectly to where this door lines up with the face of this wall, and also be able to comply with about 2 to 3 fingers worth of space for the next refrigerator that would ever come in here. Trying to go by some industry standards, got common measurements, maximums, and figured out how high I could make the cabinet. In this case, I put it pretty high because there's no reason to be skimpy. I don't care if there's a gap here. I really don't want to put a lot of trim up on top. So this was a pretty big obstacle. But remember, this was moved from over there to here. And let's take a look at now what we did. When we moved it, how much space we have with the 72 inches, just a little over 72 inches, 6 feet with space, and the countertop that we've gained. So one of the biggest benefits here is the fact that the refrigerator that we moved over there was as wide as an entire facing of cabinets that we have here. This doubles up our cabinet run going all the way up to the ceiling. If you remember in the before sequence, there was a gap of about, I think, 8 inches, or maybe about 8 inches, I believe it was, to go to the ceiling. I have no idea why they did that back in those days. But anyways, I went straight to the ceiling and went, got full-size cabinets. They're 12-inch deep. And more importantly, we have 72 inches of countertop space. The under-cabinet lighting is from IKEA, very affordable, all LED, all controlled by a switch under the cabinet. Very easy to put in, and then the quartz countertop, and very simple, very efficient. I love it. The tile I used is actually a glass tile. This is a glass tile with a white mastic and a white grout. and it's a white sanded, a fine grout. It's a fine grout. It's not a coarse sanded grout. It's a fine grout because of the gap that I can use. This is what is that? This is 1/8 of an inch. You can use up to 1/8 of an inch. You can use a fine grout. So that's what I used here. And if you can, I don't know if you can see the actual tile itself, but this is basically just the 4 colors that we really wanted to incorporate into this scheme of the wood, and also we also have a lighter hardwood oak floor, and also I like the dark chocolate or dark coffee combination. So we really like this. This really works well for us. As I mentioned before, we would have a lazy Larry and a lazy Susan. I like to spread out the laziness among the sexes. Up here, this is the glass shelf unit. This glass shelf unit here. Don't really know what to do with it. Don't know what to spin around here, so I keep my tea bottles. I drink everything like a hillbilly. Oddly enough, though, my wife has called me a hillbilly because I drank out of these bottles here, the Stella bottle. But oddly enough, that's become very cool. So 25 years I've been a hillbilly, but now it's cool. All right. Anyways, so this cabinet here with lighting underneath, same as across, and down here, this actually is not a glass unit, but it's a laminate board, a dense particle board, fine particle board. Don't know how it'll hold up. Doesn't get much use. We put surplus Pyrex in here. We went from having very little storage to having a lot of storage, and the byproduct of that is the fact that I just don't know how to spread it all out. I guess we need to go on more shopping sprees for Pyrex and for cookware. I'm not going to do that. Over here, put in a new, I believe this is a Kohler. Yeah, this is a Kohler unit. This is a new Kohler sink. And of course, the filtered water under the cabinet with the soap dispenser. And I really like the stainless steel sink that I got because it's big enough for me to put anything that comes out of the oven into it. But not much bigger, because I don't want to lose counter space on either side. I see people with big sinks, and they're so big, I'm like, okay, you basically just lost a lot of counter space. When you have a small kitchen, a relatively small kitchen, don't gobble it all up in your sink. Get the sink that's just big enough to fit anything that's big out of your oven, and that's it. Stop. Okay, decided to stick with a Bosch unit that we had just before we remodeled, because the Maytag unit didn't work quite as well, and this is very quiet and stainless steel. More importantly, this is the challenge, was I had to put the end cap on here. This is the appliance end cap that goes on, and then I had to put a kick plate. Now the interesting thing about this is the kick plate all around these appliances I couldn't get from IKEA, because they don't sell kick plates that I think are good at all. They're junk, in my opinion, because they're just a veneer, and on a kick plate you do not use a veneer. It'll chip, it'll gouge. So what I did is I found a light, this is light walnut. I believe it's light walnut. Yeah, light walnut. And I got it from Lumber Liquidators. Finally bought something from them. I get all kinds of emails from them, but don't buy too much. But that worked great, and they had the trim I wanted and the style that I needed. Here's an interesting fact for you. This particular unit, it draws 400 cubic feet per, minute? I think, or CFM, cubic feet per minute. And this basically is, I built a new closure to close up around the fan, and I put some extra storage around it. And this goes straight up to the roof and straight out. That's the reason why the soffit had to stay. If you remember it, just a minute or two, a few minutes ago, because it was in the beginning of the before video, where there's metal work in here that I just don't want to deal with moving. I could do this cabinet over here, no problem. There's no metal work in there. I had to do some reconstruction to get the supports to comply with the new shape of the ceiling. But once again, hammer and chisel will win every time. So this is the enclosure here, and I tried to close it off, and basically that is what I'm really happy about, because it pulls a lot of air out. We never had a range hood this efficient, or actually this quiet even. Another thing too, and here's something to keep in mind about IKEA. Maytag makes this unit, and you can buy this unit from Maytag in the States. It'll only have a 2-year warranty. Same unit through IKEA for the same price, 5-year warranty. This has a 5-year warranty on it. That's why I bought it from IKEA, not from Sears or maybe another place where you can get the Maytag version of it. Sears sells it, but I would not buy it from them. And once again, same thing, glass in the back, works well. Kept the same stove. Not fancy on stoves and things like that, but maybe someday. Let's take a look at the cabinetry here, because this, remember the island that we're about to see, that was opening on both sides, and this time it only opens on the front side. Let's take a look at that next. Doing my Chuck Barris. Anyone remember Chuck Barris? Probably not. Okay. Not a very good Chuck Barris. Hey, look, the island was the big obstacle here. Not because of the fact that it's an island. It's 42 inches, not hard. 42 inches, you can get some good combinations. The problem is, if you remember, it can't open from the back. It can only open from what is now the front side, which is where you're cooking over here. So, not a problem. So what we're going to take a look at next is the wire rack configuration that really gives you a lot of space in this type of kitchen. Hello. Okay, well, my camera doesn't have very good zoom out. Right? I need a different type of lens on it. But this is the wire rack configuration. This is what I really, really liked. This was, to me, was a must to have the ability to pull cookware out. And this really helps because the storage, it really holds large pots in a very small area. It's only 42 inches, two 21s together, put side by side. And the drawers that actually pull out as well. And the drawers are always on dampers, so you can slide them. All of them have the dampeners that pull them in slowly. These don't have enough. You have to slide them. They make noise. See, clang, 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 clang. All the other doors have the slow close hinges on them, the dampeners. So this I was really happy with because it's the same footing, same size, and it gives us the function to wrap the kitchen around and create the island effect. Well, the last step of the kitchen was to get a table that matched. The hard thing is the wood is so light in the kitchen, you really can't find one. Oh, wait, you can. At IKEA, they had it. They had a table, and it actually folds out to, I think, about 60 inches. We'll never do that because we don't have the room going side to side here. But the point is, they had the wood that matched, same veneer. All the cabinets are solid wood, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned it. Everything's solid wood facing, and the end caps are solid wood. Inside, yes, it's particle board. Don't really care. I put my dishes on them. And they're not built by Quakers or the Amish. So I just want to say thank you. I wish I would have taken more photos of the construction. I have some. I'm just not incorporating them here. The reason is they're just a lot of snapshots and don't need to really do that. So thank you. Hey, have a great 2015. Have a great holiday. Thank you for your time.
US Foods.
Keeping kitchens cooking.